Hey guys, just going over 2 quick games today. Played them last night. Gonna go over some energy fighting techniques and a few games where I put it into practice. Start off in the P38K. Had a tier 152C come up towards us, so he bled up all his energy. I do wait too long here to re-engage him, so I'm not going to be able to get a shot on him. But I'm doing everything wrong here. You shouldn't be following a plane like this. He is more manoeuvrable than me. He has a lot better roll. He can easily he can reverse me pretty easily if he knows what he's doing. So decide to break off, it's not worth it. All the time I'm following him, I'm just surrendering my altitude. So energy fighting in American planes, there are only a few American fighters which you can maybe consider energy fighters. The main two is probably this, the P38K and the P51D30, which is the second game we're going to look at. Most of the Corsairs and the other P51s are mainly boom and zoomers. They're a bit heavy. They don't really have the steep climb energy retention, like you call it. They've got shallow climb energy retention because they've got great engines. They don't really have, like, you can't really put them into 20-degree climbs and maintain your speed like you can with it. Let's see, a Lavochkin LA7, something like that. So I'm coming down on this TA152. This was bad from me. See, I'm only closing on him pretty slowly. I should have immediately broke to the right there instead of following through this turn. So he's going to turn around on me now. He's going to get a shot on me. But it's not an easy shot by any means at all. I'd say I'm very lucky that I had so much speed there. So this is where the real energy fight starts in this match. I'm going to get engaged shortly by a Italian fighter, C2O or something. I'm not really familiar with the Italian tech tree, but our Spitfire is going to go head on with a TR-152C. Not a good idea at all. Immediately gets blown out the sky. So it's a C205. I turn into him, then go into a vertical. He's a turn fighter, or he can turn a lot better than me, so I take the fight into the vertical as opposed to in the horizontal. As you can see, I'm just pulling him up. Every time his nose comes up, he's bleeding his energy. He doesn't have a powerful engine. He doesn't have good manoeuvring energy retention. As you can see, I'm slowly bleeding speed, but not massively. Now this would have been a nice kill if I'd managed to get my nose around, but unfortunately I can't. So again, put it into a vertical. This basically means if he wants to get a shot on me, he's got to sacrifice energy. And here the camera system's going to fuck me up. See, I'll lose him, so I can't really see. But fortunate for me, he doesn't really get a shot on me. You do get a few sparks, but nothing connects. But a big part of energy fighting is knowing your plane's strengths. I know the P38K's got great engines and great energy retention in a vertical. So he no longer has energy to pitch up with me. He can't do these vertical rolls like I done. So I'll cut my throttles back just to increase my turn circle. Pretty bad aiming from me here, but we do get the kill. You wouldn't really expect a P38 to be able to do that sort of manoeuvres, but you can in the P38K due to its great engine power. Now here you saw that we had a Focke-Wulf above us, and I'm not really in a position to fight in any way. I can't turn fight him, I can't energy fight him, I can't boom and zoom in that position. So I'm going to extend away from the fight, regain some altitude, regain some potential energy. With altitude you essentially have energy conserved because you can always dive to get more energy. As you can see here, we're now at the same altitude as those Focke-Wulfs, so I'm going to turn back to re-engage. You want to keep the plane horizontal. You want to build up your speed in the horizontal before you get to the actual merge. So energy fighting, it consists of two factors. It's basically speed and altitude. There's a little bit of nuance to that. Say for example you're 1 kilometre below someone but you're going 100 kilometres an hour faster than them, you probably have the energy advantage because you can just soon climb up to them. We're going to get a nice deflection shot kill on the Focke-Wulf. A bit sceptical as whether you should have done that. It was a bit risky. You could have easily turned if he had more energy. But luckily for us, he was in an extended dogfight with that friendly down there. But we don't try and turn immediately. We extend a little bit in a climb, then turn back. Fortunately for us, that Focke-Wulf, I think he crashed, but it doesn't look like he crashed. I think he might have J'd out, so it's a bit of a dick. So you want everything you do, you want to try and to be conserving energy. Whether that means climbing after a gun run. It's kind of like playing it as a boom and zoomer. You've got to think about, it's like chess, you've got to think about your move after you make this move. Like, what is it, like Trump supporters say 4D chess, like, you got to think about your next step after you do the step you're about to do. So there's only 2 enemies left. I think you saw on the team menu a second ago. There's Focke-Wulf in front of me, which I'm closing on quickly. I've got the energy advantage easily. And unbeknownst to me, there's going to be a Focke-Wulf behind me as well. As you can see, I'm pulling away from him. I'm a lot faster than him. Now the ticket bleed here in this game is going to be our downfall. This Focke-Wulf is quite an experienced pilot and knows what he's doing. He's rolling left and right to throw off my nose. I can't roll with him. Here I should have immediately turned to the left and extended away. As you can see, we're going pretty similar on speed. He's going to have a big opportunity here to shoot me. That is a mistake I made. As soon as he rolled to the right, then I should have turned left and extended. Here he could have had a shot on me. Especially if that was an American plane, his 50 cals would have been still are effective up to 1.2 kilometers. So we've got outside his gun range, and we're going to put it into a 15-degree climb. He's in a climb as well, but I'm going to out-climb him massively. Now our friendly P-51D kills the Focke-Wulf Anton, so it's a 2-on-1 now. So I was feeling a bit confident about this fight. So we know that Focke-Wulf's been in a climb. He's climbing towards us in about a 15-degree climb. Now the Focke-Wulf 190A, he's got a pretty weak engine, especially for climbing. So we're going to turn back towards him and turn slightly away. When he goes for a shot, we're going to go up. Now if he tried to follow this, he'd stall himself out a lot sooner than me. Luckily this Focke-Wulf guy, he's quite experienced, so he doesn't. He dives down. It's a double-edged sword, really, because he has escaped the energy trap, but now I do have a lot more energy than him. He does manage to kill our P-51. I could have ended the game right here, but I was a poor shot on my end. Well, really here, looking back, I probably should have gone into the vertical and done an extended energy fight with this guy. I probably would have won it, but I wasn't thinking. As you can see, the energy bleed now is barely visible. So he's basically forcing my hand to do something stupid, which I'm gonna do. As you can see, it's gone down again, so now it's only pixels of our friendly thing. So I have to make some sort of move rather than go down and lose by tickets. And going head on with a Focke-Wulf 190, never going to end well. But that was a loss, but I think it demonstrated some good energy fighting techniques. You need to understand your opponent's strengths and understand their weaknesses as well as your own planes. Our next game is going to be on the P51 D30, which I'd say is a bit more of a... I'd say it's 60% energy fighters, 40% boom and zoomer. So the real meat and potatoes of this fight is going to be towards the end with a tier 152C. The first few kills are just going to be... Well, this first kill on the BF-109 is going to be a piece of piss. I think he was AFK climbing. Or I think he came back at the end just before I ended up shooting at him. So I thought he was going to do a traditional merger here. So I put my nose down trying to get a bit more speed. Like what we did to that Focke-Wulf. But he just flies past me. But I'm a lot faster than him. I'm going to blow off his elevator here in a second. There it goes. Now that guy's going to die. You don't need to go down and finish him. There's a risk that a friendly would have stole the kill, but maintaining your altitude and therefore your energy advantage is far more important than chasing kills. Now a bit unlucky for me because all the other players are down low, so I've essentially wasted about 5 minutes climbing for nothing. We're going to skip ahead to the next kill, sorry. So a few minutes more have gone into the match. We're just patrolling out near the enemy airfield. Our team has a clear advantage here now. And I've spotted a little dot. I'm going to ping it on the map from a team, just in case something goes wrong and I die, they know where he is. Now to me that looks like a DO335, and it is. Now I clearly have the advantage here, he doesn't know I'm coming. He's just spotted me, but I've got a lot more speed than him. I don't know if he'd given up here or he was unaware. But as soon as we get the kill, we put it into a climb, don't turn. I want to regain that altitude. Just because you can't see enemies behind you doesn't mean they aren't there. The amount of times I've been fighting with someone and an enemy's come from behind and killed me because you thought they were the last people. Now this is going to be our third kill of the game. There's a bomber trying to run on ground level. So it's a JU-288, it's the cancer of War Thunder, apart from the T2. So we get behind him, coming from above. Gonna put a quick burst into him. Set him on fire and immediately break off to the side. And put it back into a climb. JU-288's guns will kill you pretty much instantly if he's a competent pilot. So he's gonna burn up to death in a minute. In the meantime, we're just gonna reclimb. So about 5 more minutes have gone on. As you can see, we're running down to nearly 12 minutes of fuel now. I spotted a dot in the distance, so we're chasing him. And this little bit, it's not going to end. Double-edged sword really. I'm not going to die, but I'm not going to get a kill. But I think it shows some good evasive techniques and good energy fighting setup. So here, he's coming in towards me, so I turn to the side of him, then go up. He's smart, he doesn't try to fight me, he's just running. But as you can imagine, if he tried to turn with me, I could have just gone straight up. TA-152Cs, he's not the TA-152H, he's not as dangerous. So he's essentially just running now. Well, he's running towards my teammate, so it's kind of worse for him. He's safe from me, but he's not going to be safe from my teammates. I will catch up to him eventually though. I am in a P51, it's a lot faster than him. I think the TA-152s use I think it's a bomber engine, but I'm not sure. I know they're not powerful engines though. I know they aren't as powerful as like the K4 engine. The TA-152C is quite heavy as well. So as you can see, he's trying to make another play. He's going to try and go head on again. That's pretty much his strength. But his turn rate is absolutely abysmal. I don't get any shots on. Instead of turning with him, we extend, Don't want to waste our speed. But he's just going to run back over his airfield. This is the last guy alive, by the way, I should have mentioned that. But we're going to keep the plane level. Not just because I don't want to get hit by his AA. Because I want to maintain my altitude. So there aren't really any other exceptions to the to these 2 planes, the P38K and the P. You can use the P51, D5, 10 and 20 as energy fighters, but they're not as good as the D30 just because of the engine power of the D30. And with the D20 and the D10 both being 4.7 and the D30 being 5.0, you may as well just fly the D30. You get much more power, much more performance for 0.3 battle rating increase when you still probably fight the same planes anyway. So the T152 has been running towards the map border. I think he has turned around now and he's coming back towards us. Bearing in mind, he's a 5.7 aeroplane, we're a 5.0. If you play the P51 right, you can fight up tiers pretty well. So he's coming back towards us. I turned slightly away from him and put my nose down a little bit to get speed. When he gets about 1 kilometre away, I'm going to turn to the other side and go up. Wait, actually go down in this case, sorry. So if I was a little bit better of a shot here, maybe could have had a kill here, but he just rams into our friendly. I was a little bit upset at this because I did want to get a good, nice little clip. So I'm taking my frustration out on the corpse. But I think energy fighting is probably my favourite type of fighting. Just because of how satisfying it feels when you do get good kills. So keep your speed up. Either turn that speed into altitude. If you're in an energy fighter or a boom and zoom plane, don't follow in turns. Just extend, climb, then re-engage. If you're fighting a turn fighter, then you probably are faster than them. But I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got some tips. I'm pretty new to it myself. I've not played the game in a while since I started playing it again, so I'm relearning myself. So I hope you pick something up, and I'll see you in the next video.